What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a common mistake many people make when trying to recover from anxiety disorders. I made this mistake. This is why it took me years to get through my health anxiety, my panic attacks, my GAD, everything that came with that, all of my triggers. It prolonged the whole situation, and obviously with this channel my goal is to shorten that period of time for you so you don't have to suffer as long as I did, okay? But you know what time it is. Smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you are guilty of this. Let's make that change today. So you want to make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end to get all the value that it's going to have. Please stick around, all right? Before we jump into this, huge shout out to Rachel Ward. She signed up for my coaching program. I'm talking to her tomorrow for 2 whole freaking hours. We're gonna talk about strategy. I'm gonna get her on the path to recovery. So I'm super pumped about that. Thanks, Rachel. If you are interested in anxiety coaching or my anxiety course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, that info will be down in the description and in the first pinned comment. Take advantage of that. All right, guys, so there's different phases to anxiety and the recovery process. You know, in the beginning, you're scared, you're terrified. This whole thing is new to you. Then you start to do your own research. Maybe you've stumbled across my channel. Maybe you go to a therapist and you start to gain some awareness, which is great. Awareness and education helped me so freaking much. It made me less afraid, right? So the next step after that is you start gaining tools. I give tools on this channel. You're gonna get tools from another therapist. There's many other mental health YouTubers. There's tons of articles online that you can find, things that are great for anxiety. And, we're talking about things like the diet, the exercise, the mindfulness, things like journaling, challenging your negative thoughts, all those great things. And those tools are amazing. They will help you manage your anxiety. That's basically the next phase. These tools help lower and even sometimes prevent some of your anxiety, so you're doing great at managing. But for me, I did want to fully recover from anxiety. I didn't want to just manage, and I know many of you are in the same boat. Things are better than what they used to be, but you still want more. You want that full happiness, that full peace, that full 100% of recovery. And this video is for you guys. If you're 20% into recovery, or if you're 90% into recovery, this video will be valuable for you, so stick around. So the next thing we got to start doing, guys, and this is what so many people are missing. We have to start tackling the things that make us most uncomfortable. We have to start facing our fears. That's how you recover from anxiety 100%. We're not dipping no more. We're not dodging. We're not trying to get away from some of our triggers. We are facing them head on. And I'm not here to promise recovery 100% for everybody. I'm not saying that everybody's trauma is 100% healable, right? I'm just here to say, my opinion, my 2 cents, that's how you beat anxiety. That's how you recover 100%. So I'm gonna give you some examples, and these are primarily triggers that I developed after I had my first panic attack and after my health anxiety really took a hold of me. I'm not necessarily talking about root causes. Those are obviously super important too. That's a whole nother element to recovery. But I'm primarily right now talking about fears and triggers that you developed after your anxiety disorder. Things that you didn't necessarily have issues with before. For some of you guys, that's gonna be exercise, especially if the health anxiety or the cardiophobia. Now you're terrified of exercising because you don't want your heart rate to go up or your blood pressure, you're in fear of having a heart attack. There's many of you that now you have a fear of having panic or anxiety whenever you're driving, something that you didn't deal with before. And that was one of my big problems, along with the exercise. Some of you are now afraid of just anything that will get you excited. It could be funny TV shows, it could be scary TV, right? It could be roller coasters, heights. It could be social gatherings, parties. It could be going to the grocery store. All of these things triggered me now that I had my anxiety disorder. And even though I had this huge bag of tools, which is amazing, it helped manage things better, it helped me get through my day, it wasn't going to allow me to fully 100% recover because I still wasn't facing these things head on. Exposure was pretty much non-existent at this point. So I could be great at home, If everything went perfectly, maybe I could get to the store and get back. But I really wasn't pushing the boundaries. I wasn't putting myself in uncomfortable situations purposely to grow. And you have to be uncomfortable to grow. So some of you are missing that element. Let me give you an example with the driving. I didn't have any issues with driving before I had my anxiety disorder and I had my first panic attack. Then I started having panic attacks all the time. That mixed with health anxiety. I always thought I was gonna have a heart attack while I was driving. Just getting into the car, my anxiety would go through the roof. This prevented me from going to places, obviously. This is one of the biggest reasons I couldn't hold down a job. This is a huge reason why I lost some great jobs, all right? So what did I have to do in recovery? I had to start forcing myself to get into the car and take trips. Unscripted, just taking drives, just taking some rides. Obviously with exposure, you kind of want to start out small and then you want to gradually increase the rate of exposure. So in the beginning, I'm just sitting in the car with the radio on and the AC. Then I'm backing out of my driveway. And then the next day, I'm going around the block. The next day, I'm taking a country road. We got tons of those here in East Texas. Not as much traffic. I'm not having to be overstimulated on the freeway. But gradually, we moved towards like the freeway. And gradually, we moved towards being in the car longer and taking longer trips, right? And then eventually, you tell your subconscious that things are gonna be okay when we get into the car. Your subconscious adjusts to it. It just takes time. But some of you, or probably many of you, are not taking that first step because you're afraid you're gonna be triggered, or you're afraid that your symptoms are gonna rise, or you're afraid that you're gonna have a panic attack. You have to take that first step if you want to fully 100% recover from anxiety. The same applies to exercise. So many of you have health anxiety. A lot of you have cardiophobia. That's how you found me. I didn't exercise for 2.5 years. I did all this other stuff. I was working on the diet. I quit smoking. I was trying to get better sleep. I was trying to, dabble with some meditation and everything. But it didn't matter. Anytime I had to carry a heavy box or go upstairs or sometimes even get off the couch and go somewhere, pace somewhere quickly, my heart rate would go up and I would be triggered again. So I wasn't able to exercise, and exercise is one of the best things for anxiety and your mental health and your physical health. And I was missing out on that. And I was never able to fully accept that there was nothing wrong with my heart. So by me avoiding exercise for 2.5 years, I stayed deep into the cardiophobia for 2.5 years. When I finally took that first step, which was terrifying, I was having a panic attack and I exercised. That was the very thing that allowed me to finally accept that there was nothing wrong with my heart. This is after tons of doctors telling me this. But the one thing that finally let me know that I was healthy was going out there when I had panic and running and realizing, oh my God, I feel better, not worse. I would have died if I was having a heart attack and did this. And that was the one thing. So a lot of the things that you guys avoid are the things that are going to actually escalate you towards recovery. That could be the driving, it could be heights, it could be social gatherings, crowds, going out in town, leaving your house. People that have agoraphobia, that didn't have it before, you feel safe right in your house. You're safe in that bubble. I challenge you one day to just open the front door. If you have a screen, just do that. The next day, go out on your porch, or if you have an apartment and you're up on the second floor, go out on the balcony. The next day, I want you to just walk around your place. The next day, I want you to walk around the block. And you can drag this out. It doesn't have to be each day you do a new thing, but exposure, guys, you have to start facing these fears. A lot of you want to recover and then you can do the things that you used to love to do, right? Like you want the mindfulness and just some of the positive thinking and the diet and everything. Some of you that aren't afraid of exercise to just all of a sudden make you not afraid to go get on a plane or to go to a party or something like that. You are going to always feel uncomfortable whenever you face something that triggers you, regardless of all the other stuff that you do. You can bring your anxiety levels down before doing some of these things, but if you think you're going to have zero anxiety when you do the things that trigger you, you're wrong. And a lot of you are avoiding doing these things because you're afraid that you're going to be triggered, or you're afraid that your symptoms are going to come up. Yes, they are going to come up. What's important is, what do you do when those symptoms come up? How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking to your subconscious? All of these things come into play. So a lot of you have the awareness, you have the education, a lot of you are working on acceptance. That's great. Now a lot of you have this huge bag of tools. So many things that you can do. You're setting up a routine, you're doing this and doing that, but you're not getting out there. I made a video kind of describing this phase of anxiety recovery as OJT, on-the-job training, where you've got the tools, you got the training, you know? Now we're putting you out on the floor. Let's see what you got. You have to go out there and face these things to conquer them. It doesn't happen any other way. You can't dip and dodge and dip and dodge and expect to recover. It doesn't work like that. And it may seem obvious, but I don't know. I was irrational. I thought that my fear would go away before having to actually face it. And the result of that is just this thing dragging on. If you want to recover from anxiety, or if you want to speed things up, start doing something every day that makes you uncomfortable. Is it going to be easy? No. Are your symptoms going to pop up? Probably. Are some of you going to, go into an anxiety attack or a panic attack? There's a chance. There were many things that I did that triggered an anxiety attack. But the fact that I was going out and doing it and exposing myself to it, it got easier over time, and I was showing my subconscious, even though that you're sending me symptoms, even though that you're causing a panic attack right now, I will get through it and we will carry on. And tomorrow I will take it a step further. That's what recovery really looks like towards the end. It's great that you have the awareness. It's great that you have the education. It's great that you have tools. Let's go do something with them. Stop just using the tools in your home. Stop just using the tools in areas that you're comfortable. Get out there and do the things that make you uncomfortable. It could be traveling, getting in a car, getting in a plane, going to a party, going to the grocery store. If you go to the grocery store and being in a long line makes you stressed out, I'd go down all the aisles and pick the longest one. Those are the kind of things that I did to recover and to start speeding that process up. So I challenge you guys today to make a list of the things that make you uncomfortable, and start from the easiest if you want. That's exposure. Start with the easiest one and work your way down to the most difficult thing. But every day, be pushing the boundaries, push the limits, be uncomfortable. That's how you grow, and that's how you're going to recover 100%. I hope you got value out of this. Please hit the like button. If you watched the video this far, thank you so much. You are a true freaking subscriber. I appreciate you with all of my heart. Please go down below in the comment section, and in all caps, I want you to type out, I will challenge my fears. I will challenge my fears. It's a great positive affirmation. Again, guys, if you're interested in the coaching program that I offer, or my Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, that information will be down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. That course is going to be amazing for you guys, the Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, because I actually show you how to change your perception on anxiety itself. It can really escalate the situation as far as recovery goes. Please do that. It's my step-by-step blueprint on how I personally recovered from anxiety. There's so many different factors that go into it, and a lot of these things have to come together at the same time. So please check that out so it'll speed the process up for you. Also, all of my other social media networks, and including TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that good stuff, that's also going to be down below. If you've never tried therapy, I'm putting a link for online therapy. You can do it on the phone, laptop, PC, tablet, anything like that. Check that out if you haven't ever tried therapy. This is a great opportunity to get your feet wet with that. Subscribe if you're new here. Tons of videos like this to help you out with your anxiety journey and recovery, hopefully. And again, hit the like button if you got value. Until next time, keep fighting.